Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, my name is Eve. This is Eve's Creations Paint Party. It's Friday night. What? So tonight is a how-to, right? Where do I start? How do I make a painting? How do I get a painting together in my head on what I want to put in it and how do I put on it, right? Composition, right? So this is going to be how to compose, how to create your own artwork, and we're going to draw upon everything that I have showed you before, like light source, perspective, right? Where to place things, how to place them, what are we placing, how to get that information for yourselves, lots and lots and lots and lots of good stuff. So, I don't have anything to show you because we're starting from scratch. If I'm using a certain paintbrush, I'll let you know what I'm using when I'm using it. It's always the same brushes, big boy fluffies, tiny mini-me, nifties, all of that good stuff. Joan is here. Hello, 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 Joan. How are you doing, sweetheart? What's going on? And I did pour a palette, always the same colors. Right. We got always the same colors. We got black, a blue, a red, a yellow, and white. So let's wait for the fam to pop on. I am a few minutes, but that's okay. So how's everybody doing? All of my videos are kid friendly, so I'm going to try to watch this thing. If you guys could watch your comments. Support is greatly appreciated. Stars is enabled. And I also have the PayPal and the Venmo. And I'm getting a pen to write down all my lovely fam that's coming in. Hello, 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 Joan. How are you doing? Marcia is here. Hello, 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 Marcia. So, let me share those links with you. Okay, so we have the Venmo. I almost deleted all my links. Hello, Kimberly. I almost deleted all my links, right? I was clearing some stuff off of the clipboard, and I thought I hit a wrong button, and I almost deleted all of my go-to hashtags, links, and everything else. So, yeah, let's not do that, Eve, because that would be awful. Replays are available on Facebook for the 30 days, and then they're over on my YouTube channel, which it is the same name, Eve's Creations Paint Party, on YouTube. There it is. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. All of my original artwork is available on Etsy. So if you would like an Eve's original piece of art, right? Head on over to Etsy. It's Eve's Creations Art on Etsy. You know, hit like shop, right? If you head over there, my sister's been working very diligently on Etsy. We have all of our holiday paintings are on sale, are going to be on sale very soon. So head over there and check it all out and get yourself an Eve's original painting. 6,000%. Okay, so hello, guys. How are you? How's everybody doing? I know I was late coming on, so I'm giving it a minute for everybody to come in. And how's everybody? Those of you following my Make 'em Ups journey, I didn't have a painting. I felt like being a glowing goddess tonight, because I'm really excited that you guys are going to learn how to create your own, know where to start, how to start, what to start with, and all of that to be able to make a painting. Hello, Tamara. How are you doing, Dollface? Okay, so I did YouTube. I did the support links. I did kid friendly. Thanks, Tamara. What am I missing? I don't know. I don't think I'm missing anything. Alright, so I got lots to tell you. Lots and lots of things to tell you. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do when you start a painting, right, you need a background, right? And you need to make a decision. Am I holding the canvas? This is called landscape, right? Sideways or straight up and down. Well, that all depends on what you're putting into your painting. Okay, it all depends on how you're going to compose. I call this how-to composition. Basically, where do I start? And It all depends on what pieces. Hi, Penny. Thank you so much, sweetheart. How are you doing, doll? What pieces am I putting into the painting? Well, where do I find those pieces? Where do I find those ideas? All right, so on everybody's little internet device, okay, you have a search engine. All right, in the search engine, you could easily put spring paintings, right? And you could put, you know, maybe you want to do a certain flower, right? You could put that in. If you want to do a certain animal or a certain object, you could put that in. Now, the trick is, though, when you put that in, right underneath the search bar, you're going to see little tabs, little tiny tabs, okay? In those tabs, about the fourth one in, there's a button that says Images. Hit that button, okay? So you're in your search engine, you're typing in what you want to search, and then right underneath that search engine spot where you type it in, you move over, you'll see little tabs, and I don't remember what they are, but the third or fourth one in, it says Images. That's the one you want to hit. That's going to fill your screen with a plethora, a whole bunch of different images of what you just searched. Okay? So if you are on your internet device right now, check that out, right? On your laptop or your tablet or whatever you want to use. Okay? That's how to, if you want to do, say, a background and then your image is going to be black, okay? We've done those before, like the bunnies on the sidewalk and all of those type of paintings. We did that with the werewolf. The word that you want to keep in mind, happy Friday! The word that you want to keep in mind is silhouette. So, hi Laura, how you doing, sweetheart? Is the word silhouette, okay? If you type in the word silhouette, say the bunnies, right? So what did I do? I typed in bunny rabbit silhouette. I'm going to spell it wrong, watch. Silohuettete, something like that. Somebody spell it correctly in the chat. I might have got it right. That is going to give you all of the black outlines of that said object. Okay, so I put in bunny rabbit silhouettes, and it came up and it gave me all the images, right? Then I hit that image button, and then it came up all the images in a black outline. All right? So, 2 things I told you already. Thank you so much, Laura. The 2 things I told you already, hitting the images button when you're searching, and also putting in the word silhouette when you want just the black outline of said image. Now, you guys are going to create along with me tonight. There's another great spot to find ideas to paint. It's on Pinterest. Pinterest. Somebody type that in too. That has all sorts of things in it. Okay? Now, what you want to put in, though, is you can't just put in Christmas, because you're going to get Christmas crafts. You're going to get Christmas decor. You're going to get Christmas cookies. You're going to get all sorts of stuff. So you have to put in paintings or art. All right? So this is navigating your search bars, guys. This is the information I'm giving you. So if you go on to Pinterest, you want to put in paintings or art. And you type that in, okay? So someone's going to put in the chat how to spell Pinterest, and that's another great thing. I have it saved on my phone. It doesn't do anything weird or want money or pop ads onto your phone or any sort of that crazy kooky stuff some apps can do. Hello, Carolyn. How are you doing, sweetheart? So it doesn't do any of those things, okay? So you can easily download it to your phone. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And you'll be able to go on there. Just remember that you want to type in the words art or paintings or something along that line, because otherwise you're going to get a whole slew of other stuff, all right? Now, if you are using, say, right? You guys paint my compositions all the time. You paint my paintings all the time. Okay? If you are going to go into the outside world and sell said paintings, the way to do that with being a respectful image sharer, like if you are using somebody else's painting as inspiration, right? If you make if you make over 30% changes of it or something, if you make like a lot of changes to it, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you are going like pretty close to the original, if not exactly, you want... Hi, Sherry. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, it has a mind of its own. There you go, Carolyn. That's awesome. On the back of your paintings, you want to put inspired by and who the artist was. So if you want to be kind and be honest and be supportive of the wonderful art world out there, if you are using somebody's image and you are copying it pretty darn close, I always put inspired by and put the artist's name on the back of the painting. This way, the people know that the original idea came from that artist. Okay, so that's the way you do that, and stay within the parameters of not stealing somebody else's work. Okay, you're giving them credit, and it is your work. You signed the front. It is your work. It is your painting. But if you want to give a nod to wherever that composition came from, you put on the back of your painting inspired by and then the artist's name. And that is the nice way of doing that. All right? People can look at your Pinterest boards. You have easy paintings, winter paintings, etc. Oh, that's awesome, Carolyn. Hi, Adam. How are you doing, sweetheart? So, that's how you search ideas, okay? That's how you search ideas out, all right? Everybody, that was a lot of information, right? So, search engine, images button. You want just the black outlines, silhouettes word. The app Pinterest, lots of ideas. Just put in paintings or art, okay? There you go. All right, so, that being said, now we're going to talk about composition, because I got to get a background on here. Alright, guys. I've already made up my mind, right? I want to do a spring painting. You guys shoot me 3 things that you would put in your spring painting. Tell me 3 things you're going to put in your spring painting. The first 3, I'm going to paint. And then I'm going to show you how you would take those ideas and make your own painting from it. I can't even put a background yet. Rain. Rain, okay? We got rain coming in. Flowers. Alright? A bird in a nest. You guys are making me work tonight. You couldn't... Really? Rain? And a bird in a nest? Thanks. Thanks a lot. Alright. I did say anything. A volcano. Yes, Joe, and you want to paint a volcano. I know you do. We gotta wait for a volcano. I'm gonna wait till summer for a volcano. No, I'll do the rain. It's all good. I'll do the rain. I'll do the rain. Yes, we're gonna wait till summer when it's wicked hot, and then we'll do a volcano. Flowers, rabbits, and a dog. We got flowers. At least it was rain and not a volcano. I did say spring. Okay, we have rain, flowers, and a bird in a nest. Those were the first 3 in here. Okay, so, looking at my canvas, you're doing flowers, rain, bird in a nest. Your decision is landscape or Landscape or portrait, right? Hi, Tammy. Landscape or portrait? Think of your 3 things going in there. Rain, flowers, bird in a nest. Where am I going to put them? Right? The rain is going to be part of my background. Okay? The flowers and the bird in a nest is going to be my subjects. All right? How do you want to put those in? Do you want to put flowers here and the bird in the nest here? Or do you want to put flowers and then the bird sitting in the flowers in the nest? Okay? Or how do you, that's the things you got to wrap your head around. This is where you're starting. So Penny says portrait. I agree with Penny. I want to do a portrait because if I have rain coming down, it's going to come down from the sky, right? Right? And then I need flowers and I need a bird, okay? So my background for this painting, hello, Yolanda, how you been, sweetheart, is going to be gray, right? Now, if I did sunshine, what would be the backgrounds you guys put on? I'm using Big Boy at 1-inch flat and white paint. If we did sunshine, right? We're composing our painting right now, guys. We're doing composition of a painting. Where do I start? All right? We're wrapping our heads around our different ideas. If I did sunshine, balance of focus. That's kind of fancy, Penny. That's kind of fancy stuff going on there. A little bit fancy. If I did a yellow, light blue with peach or yellow. Yep, Carolyn. Yes. Those all sound like great ideas. There's no wrong ideas. There's better choices. But there's no wrong ideas. I'm just using black and white, guys. Black and white. Alright? Because we're doing rain. And rain comes from cloudy gray stuff. Okay. So my rain is going to be white. Right? So what am I already thinking? If my rain is going to be white, is my background going to be, go out and come back in, Joan. Is my background going to be really, really light or darker? My rain is white. So what are you going to make your background, guys? Darker. Very good, Kathy. That's right. That's right. 6,000%. So these are all the things, right? These are all the things that you have to keep in mind when you're putting your painting together. Okay? These are all the things that can trip you up later. Like, you know how we always do our snowman paintings and everything else? And I always tell you, don't make your snow white. Blue or purple. Blue or purple would work too. That would be very, very pretty. Adding bluish and purple to this? Absolutely. Kind of like that idea. You couldn't say that 20 minutes ago? Alright, I'm adding blue and purple now. You couldn't say that idea 10 minutes ago when I was doing the gray? That's another thing that you guys can keep in mind is what are going to be the colors of your object, right? How many times have we done a painting and we're doing something purple and I have you guys do your background yellow? Why do we do that? Who knows why do we use a certain background color when we have objects of a certain color? Why do I tell you to use a yellow background if you're making a purple object? Very good, Kathy. That's right. You got it, darling. That's right. Exactamundo. It didn't work for you? I'm sorry, Joan. That's right, Dawn. Opposite the color. See, you guys can do this. You know what you're talking about. Complementary is a different thing, I think. That's the technical term. But I think complementary is the ones that are next to each other, not opposite each other. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. You always... But I think complementary are the ones that are next to each other, and it's a different term for the ones that are apart from each other. It doesn't matter what the term is, as long as you turn around and know what we're talking about. I'm right? All right, Carolyn. Woohoo! All right. Yeah, so it's the now, what happens using the ones opposite from each other? What does it do to the different objects? What happens when you make things opposite of each other? What happens with the colors, guys? And answer this question. What color am I putting down here? I'm doing flowers. What's my color going to be? Got rain and flowers. I'll answer the hard question because I can't stop talking. They make each other close. They make each other pop, okay? So if you're using yellow in the background, green, very good, Kathy, and you make your purple object, it's going to make the purple object stand out more, right? Blue and orange, yellow and purple, red and green, okay? That's why Christmas time, everything looks so bright and bold and beautiful, is because it's all red and green put together. That's what it is. So that's why everything always looks so bright and cheerful and happy, is because you're putting two colors together. All right? So you want to keep that in mind as you're doing your painting. So there's a lot of things that go in to creating a piece of artwork that you have to keep in mind. Right now, we are formulating, we're brainstorming our ideas, okay? And if you want to, so I know one artist, he does order of operations. So that's something that you can do for yourself, right? First is, what am I painting? Right? Pick your subject. So that's your first thing to do. Second is background colors, right? You want to look at what you're painting and decide your background colors. Am I going to do the contrasting colors? Am I going to do the complementary colors? Am I going to turn around and do I got to make something lighter or darker to make the other thing stand out more, right? I said white rains, we went with a darker background, right? So number 2 would be your background. Right? What background would make sense? Right, Carolyn, exactly. Okay? Number 3 is, how am I going to hold my canvas? Am I going to have it be landscape or portrait? Landscape and portrait are just fancy for sideways or straight up and down. Right? So that's be like your order of operations, right? First is subject, second is background, third is positioning the canvas, okay? So write these things down for yourself. Write these things down for yourself so you remember. Now, if I'm putting colorful flowers on here, am I going to do dark green or light green? Or it's a rainy day, as Carolyn said. Am I going to do light green or dark green? You're taking notes? Awesome, Kathy. Hello, 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 Kimberly. How are you doing, sweetheart? Yep, somebody write this stuff down. And then you can share it with me and I'll make a post about it. Dark green, good job, Tamara. So write down my 1, 2, 3s and stuff because we're gonna have more added to it. Dark green, very, very good. Good job, Tamara. Yep, we're gonna do dark green. So I'm grabbing black, yellow, blue, and a tiny bit of white. Okay, so flowers. What do flowers have? Flowers are in grassy areas, right? We need grassy stuff, right? So, dark green. Making it dark in the front. Okay, these are going to be close-up flowers. So we don't have to worry about perspective, right? We don't have to worry about making something look really far away because this is going to be close up. Okay, so we don't have to worry about things being really far away. But we do have to make things in the background and in the front, right? Things are going to be behind other things. So in that case, darker in the back. Always remember darker in the back. Unless that's where your light's coming from. Okay, now that I mentioned light, that's another thing you guys have to keep in mind. Okay, how many times did we do something where we're doing cast shadows and highlights and where our light source is? So that would be your next thing to pick on our list. Light source. Anybody want to tell me why figuring out your light source is important? That's okay, Robert. Don't worry. She's a hard-working girl. I'm going to make a post about everything I'm talking about. So, somebody's writing it down. Somebody's writing it down for me, right? Somebody tell me why picking your light source is important. There's a whole bunch of reasons. For shadows. Very good, Kathy. For shadows. And what's opposite of shadows? Very good. Yep. See, you guys, geez, you guys are so good tonight. You were on point. You didn't know you were going to get tested. Yes. So, you have to know your light source. Okay? Now, this is a gray day, so I'm not going to have a particular light source. I'm just going to have things further and closer. Thank you so much for the stars, darling. Look, I'm a little kitty. That was adorable. Shading. Yes, you guys are on point. I love it. 6,000%. Now, what am I doing when I put something darker back there and lighter up front? What am I working on? Which is the next thing on your list. What's the word? What's the word that I'm working on when I make something darker towards the back and lighter up front? Thank you, Robert, for the stars. Perspective. Woo woo. Man, you guys are good. Oh, man, I just said a naughty word. You got me all excited. I said a naughty word. Good job. I was like, dang. All Alright, I'm grabbing white and yellow. And I'm doing flicky doos. Okay? That's right. So, this grass back there automatically looks like it's further away. Right? Why? Because it's darker. And it's smaller. Right? What do we talk about? Making things smaller and then bigger the closer you get. Ba 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 da bum. All right. You guys have any questions for me? 6,000% ask. If there's something that you're having trouble with when you're trying to create on your own, now's the time to ask me, because this is what we're talking about. This is what we're doing tonight. How to create artwork on your own. How to put your ideas together. How to know the different parts that you're supposed to pay attention to. Okay, so my painting does not have a particular light source. The light is coming from me. Okay, when you don't have a particular light source, like over here, over there, in the middle, right? How we've done that, how many times? If you don't have one of those, then the light is coming from you. So keep that in mind, okay? The light is coming from you. Now, I have flowers, bird in the nest, Carolyn. Still trying to wrap my head around the bird. And rain. What would I put in next? Right? This is another thing. So we have, we did 1, 2, 3, right? Subject, how you're putting your canvas, background choices, we have light source, we have perspective, right? Is it going further away? Is it coming up close? All of those questions. What's driving you bonkers? Now it's what order am I putting those items into my painting? So what's going next? Rain, bird, nest, flowers. What's the next thing I'm going to put? I should put in. Very good, Tammy. Oh, ha ha, you can't say anything, Laura. Rain. Good job, Tammy. Now, why did you, yeah, yep. I would choose to do the rain. Can you put the nest in? You can put the nest in. But I didn't ask about where we're putting the nest yet. So, but rain is actually going to be part of the background, and then we're going to put pieces as a last step in front of everything. So, we need to do our background rain first. So, I am taking my 1-inch flat. I'm making sure it has a nice sharp edge. I am making sure that my white paint is not all goopy-gobby. Okay? I'm going to add a little bit of blue to it, just because. Just because I can. Like, and when I say a microscopic amount of blue, I mean a microscopic amount of blue. Chisel edge. Rain. Yeah, you guys that said nest, you could do the nest. That would be fine. Okay, so I am going to put small bits of rain in here. If you wanted to do the nest next, you could totally do the nest next. Holy cannoli. Those words did not want to leave my mouth. Right? And then I am just pulling. And rain is straight. It's straight. Okay, so you got to make it straight. And you got to keep checking the edge of your brush. Yep. Keep checking the edge of your brush. And put pieces coming on. Whoop. That was a thick one. Rain. Alright. Now, where am I going to put my bird and my nest? Where's my focal, where is my main piece of the painting going to be? So we got to decide where our flower is going to be and where the, yes, Kathy, it will. You would do that after you're done painting those things. Right now we needed the rain that was part of the background, because the rain's everywhere. So we had to do the background rain first, so then we could turn around and put our objects in. So there's rain behind it, and then there'll be rain in front of them too. Just off center. See, lots of decisions to make. Lots of decisions to make when you're painting, right? Lots of things to figure out. Lots of little things you got to think about. Making you guys think. Alright, we have flowers and bird in a nest. What am I doing next? And thank you so much for the stars. Flowers and then the nest. Hey, Gloria, how you doing? You'd put the nest off center over here. There's no wrong answer. It's your painting. I'm doing well. Nest. Flowers could overlap nest. Very true, it could. There's really no right or wrong on this one, whatever you decide to do next. There really isn't, as long as you know why you're doing which one you're doing next. If that made sense. Okay, right now, I'm going to be putting flowers in the distance. So, am I making them big or small? Small. Very good. I got white paint on the corner of Big Boy. Small. Exactly, Laura. Exactly. Good job, guys. Yes. All right. You guys are so smart. I love it. See? You guys got this stuff. You could totally create paintings on your own. Totally could. All right. Yes. Laura, thinking ahead of the game. She's like, do the background ones first, then the nest, and then the ones in the front. So, small, very good. So I'm just using the corner of Big Boy, grabbing white paint. Very good, Adam. Good job, guys. You guys are awesome. And I'm doing a little angled line this way, angled line that way. Now what happens is they get closer. They get larger. They get billet, Tammy? What's a billet? Alright, spell check. What's a billet? They become bigger. Yes, guys. Tammy's, they grow. Tammy's, Alright, so now I'm just doing a swoop, swoop, and a thing in the middle. Okay, now, as you guys said, the nest. Slightly off center. I'm just using Big Boy white paint. That's another thing I wanted to tell you guys about. So when your next step would be mapping your objects in. Okay, I map in white paint. You can turn around, and the best way to mark off things on your painting, if you have a background going on, is some people use pencil. I don't agree with that. Some people use charcoal. That's okay. Chalk. Alright? So if you have your whole background done and everything, and you're trying to figure out the best place to put said objects, if you're putting your composition together, right? We're keeping in mind our light source. We're keeping in mind our perspective, right? And you want to put in your objects, you can use chalk. And I'm going to show you why, because if you don't want to use the paint, if you're not to the point of using paint, when you put chalk onto your canvas, right, so I am going to scratch in pieces of my nest, right, getting the idea of what's going to be there, maybe scratching, you know, maybe if I wanted to put a flower here, and I wanted to put a flower here, this will help you figure out what to paint first, what's going to go over what, okay? Like I put this flower here, but alright, so I'm going to have a bird in my nest. Alright, so you can put your bird in. Okay, so you can use chalk to scratch in all these things to figure out where you want certain things to be and how you want them to be. Okay? Because when you put the paint on the chalk, it just melts into the paint. And if you want to get really fancy, they do have colored pencil chalk sticks. Chalkboard sticks. Okay, so if you want to play around with colors or make really putting a lot of little detailed things in, you want to draw them into your painting first. They do have sticks that are chalk. And then you can go in and finish mapping out your pieces, and the chalk melts right into the paint. So you don't have to worry about any lines or any certain things being in your painting, because it's all going to melt away. Just like that. Okay. What's next? What do we do next? Apply color. Yes. Very cool. So now you got to make decisions on what your colors are going to be. And I always add white to my color first. I'm using Mini Me. He's a small shader. And I have purple in my background. So guess what I am going to do? Guess what color a lot of these flowers are going to be? Yellow. Yep. Is it really? And we're doing a storm? That's hysterical. That is hysterical. So for these flowers, I'm taking yellow and white, and I'm using Mini Me, which is a small shader, and I am just flicky doing towards the middle my paint strokes to make the first layer of my flowers. Now I'm grabbing red. I didn't clean off my brush. This is going to give me like a peachy color. And I'm just flicky doing my lines. These are very undefined flowers. Okay, so when you're picking your colors, you got to make sure you know what the colors of your other objects are going to be, because you don't want to turn around and have a whole bunch of things together that are the same color, because then you're going to have a hard time distinguishing between the different objects. Okay, so those are something to keep in mind when you're doing your colors, is to not have objects of the same color overlapping each other. Why do I mix white in with the color when you already have it on the canvas? Because my first application of white, you can still see the darker color behind it. So then when I add the white to the object, there's a few reasons. Number one, most definitely the way I paint, I'm going to wind up going out of the lines of my white marking. Like I did there. This was where all the white was. This was where I just put the mark with the white and the color. But adding white to the color made it not that big of a deal, because you still can't see through it all the way. And the other reason is that when I finally get to the final colors I want to add, it's going to make the object pop. So the more layers you put blocking the background colors from coming through your object, the more your colors are going to wind up popping off of the canvas. So that is just the white, and that is the white with the color. And see how less and less you can see the background color coming through. Yep, lots and lots of reasons. Ah, I forgot one. I forgot one. Also, another reason is you can turn around and put a color on, and then say you decide you're really not feeling it. You're really not feeling that color. It's a lot easier to cover up if the color is muted by white. So it's another opportunity as you're putting your composition together to be able to put your colors in and then make adjustments without having to cover a bold, bold, bold color. All right. We need our nest, right? So I'm making brown. I'm literally just scooping up all this white, peach, yellow, whatever I have going here. I'm going to add red. I'm going to add some black. Tiny bit of black. I'm going to take my hair out of the paint. Yellow, red, and brown are also translucent. Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay, I'm going to dab, but I'm not going to overmix. So I have all these different colors, and I'm going to swoop in my nest. And now, guys, since we have our composition, we have our light source, we have our perspective, we have our objects that are going into our painting, we can turn around and just color at this point. We did all the hard work. Now we can just enjoy painting our things into... Thanks, Kathy. I put it in a clip and this happened. So it's kind of cool. I just put it in one of those clips like this when I got out of the shower, and that's what happened. So, thanks. Alright. So now, as we're putting our colors in, right, we got to think of shading. Okay, I'm the light source, so I don't have to worry about cast shadows or that kind of shading. But I do have to worry about, like, is my object creating a shadow onto another object? Like the bird in this nest. Right, so you want to add some shadowing there. And what color are we making our bird, guys? You guys creating a painting all on your own. See, you guys can do this. You don't need me anymore. Blue? You want a bluebird? We can do a bluebird. That's a good choice since we got orange flowers, right? Mr. Bluebird. Blue works. Red's a good idea too. The only thing is with the red is I have my flowers are white and pink and yellow and all of those kind of things. So if I do a red bird, I'm going to run the risk of having it next to an object that is the same color. The bluebird of happiness. There we go. And I need a beak. So I'm going to grab a tiny brush. He is a small round. White paint. Okay, now I can go in and add my second layer to my flowers. So, now that you did all the thinking, right, let's run down our order of operations of what we had to do to create this awesomeness. Because now I'm just adding layers and I'm having fun. And then the last thing that I would do, once I do all this and it dries, is I would bring some rain in over the top of everything. Okay, so what's the first thing that we had to do to create our own artwork? First thing. let's do our rundown, and then, guys, you learned everything you needed to learn tonight. Look how amazing that is. You did a great job. Is it hard to get the rain to match? Select the background, right? But how are you going to choose a background if you don't know what you're painting yet? First is your subject. Figure out what you're painting. That's number one. I'm going to write them down. So this way I can make a post about it for whoever didn't make it tonight. So the first thing is our subject. Okay? What I tell you about the subject, that you can find it on Google Images. Hit the images, right? Your search engine. Hit the images bar. If you want a silhouette, write that word. And you can also find your stuff on Pinterest. So, first is your subject. Then, Carolyn, right? Position of canvas. Landscape or portrait. Alright, good night, Dawn. Have a great night, sweetheart. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, we didn't do any roll call. We'll do roll call after this. Alright, once we have our subject and our position of canvas, now what's next? I'm writing it down. Light source. Good job. Right? And then you can do your background. Okay? Subject, position of canvas, light source. There's something before, well, you could switch it in and out, but what do you need to figure out before your background? We have light source, but what was the other thing? Things being far away, things being close up, because that can change what your background is doing. Are you going to have the light far away? Are you going to have, right, do we have to make something darker, further, or closer? What was that word? Aw, thank you, Carolyn. Perspective. Woo woo. Oh, yeah. I'm making you guys work tonight, right, Carolyn? Good job. Right, all of that happy stuff, Joan. Right? We're thinking about all of those happy things. We're thinking about our perspective. We're thinking about our light source. We're thinking about where shadows would be. Lots and lots and lots of thinking when it comes to your subject. Okay, so we got subject, position of canvas, light source, perspective, and then background. What's next? What do we always do with the white paint? What do we do with the chalk now that I showed you chalk? Perspective. Good job. Yep. So we have all those happy things in here. This little trifecta right here of all important stuff. Yes, your objects. Where's your objects going? Mapping. That's right. Mapping. You could do it with chalk. You can do it with white paint. You got to map in where your objects are going, right? Keeping in mind all of those things that you figured out before. Your light source and your perspective. Okay? So as you're mapping in your objects, like we did with the flowers, far away and up close, Those were all decisions we had to make before we put in the mapping of our objects. Once we have everything mapped in and it's the way we want it to be, what do we do next? Color! Yep. Is everybody's head spinning? Are you like, whoa, this is a lot of information? It's alright if you're a little full on the call E for help. Exactly. It's alright if you're a little like everything's swimming around in there and you can't keep things straight. That's okay. It's a lot of information in one little video, that's for sure. We covered a whole bunch of stuff. So it's okay if you're a little like, what? I don't know what's going on. That's okay. Start applying color. You guys got it. Now, once I have all my colors in and everything is my first coats of color, right? So you want to put your color, your first coat. Okay. Now, depending on where my light source was, would be where I put my shadows and everything else. We don't necessarily have them in this painting, okay, except for the shadow where the bird is sitting in the nest. But after you put on your first coat of colors, you want to put in your shadows and your highlights. So you know how to do your last layers of colors, right? So if I was doing shadows and highlights and this painting actually had them in there, I would be making my darkers and lighters now. Like just for ha-has, right? Say my light source is coming from over there, right? Say my light source is coming from over here. So as I go to do my next layer on my flowers, right, I would make this side lighter, right? These sides would be lighter, okay? And then I would put this side darker. Okay, so the next step you would do is your shadows and your highlights, depending where your light source is coming from. Once you have all of that figured out, then you put in your last layer of color on there, okay? So you would do your first coat of color, just with the white. Then you would do your coat of color with the shadows and highlights. And then the last thing you would do is add your final colors, your final touches of color. And then, after that, the very last thing you do is add any final details, right? The eye, the beak, the rain coming across the whole thing. All of those things that would be done as your final details. Okay, guys, and that is how you put a painting together. Okay? That's it. You know how to do it now. Together, we figured out the whole timeline on how to create an acrylic painting. You did it. Look, see? You did it. Yep, my uncle just let him in. So, tonight we had Joan, Marcia, Kimberly, Tamara, Penny, Kathy, Laura, Adam, Gloria, Carolyn, Sherry, Tammy, Yolanda, and Rain, Flowers, and Birds in a Nest. Rain, flowers, and birds in a nest. Am I going to put stems? I am not going to put stems. I don't think so. Guess what our painting is next Friday, guys? Once I put all the final touches on it, guess what painting's next Friday? The one you guys created. How about that? You guys did this. You put this together. I didn't put this together. You put it together. See? You can do it. A spring rain painting. You got it. So, I'm going to be putting the final touches on this later on. And then I will post it as an event. You guys are absolutely amazing. You all can create on your own. I always tell you, have fun and go create. You know all the steps to be able to create your own work now. I expect you to share that with me through direct message. If you have any questions for me, direct message me on Facebook. If you send support of $5 or more, make sure you direct message me your address so you can get your Nifties. All the Nifties were sent out. And, yes, I will be hitting the button for that later. And, let's see, what else? Go to my Etsy, Eve's Creations Art on Etsy. Okay, guys, you are all absolutely amazing. You all warm my heart. Have fun. Go create. Have an amazing weekend. Okay, guys? Bye. As soon as I figure out how to shut this off. Bye, everybody.